Out to Marshall, way offline. Hurricanes reel it in, second chance here. Cavender up off the glass. Miami takes the lead.
You asked me earlier how I would describe Cavender, and my word was fearless. I mean, she just doesn't care. A bucket.
That was the 6th lead change in this 4th quarter. And Cavender with that dog in her, right? That's what the kids say?
Yes.
Meanwhile, Gordon on the other end trying to make something happen as there's a whistle.
One, she tracked down the rebound, realized that it didn't touch the rim, and then the quick spin move there, the craftiness along the baseline, and a tough finish with the inside hand. It's a nice bucket.
Cavender with 25 points. Still shy of her season high of 32. The definition of a bucket. As Gordon has a chance to tie this up at the free throw line.
31 for OMG. 31.
Omaria Gordon with the first 30-piece of her career, just going off here in Miami.
And she's not doing anything outside of herself. Every time she scored, this is her game. Getting downhill in the mid-range. Talk about the leadership from her as well. You know, I can imagine for FSU getting into this game and not having Latson, you might feel a little uncomfortable, right? You're like, hey, I mean, we have the best scorer in the country. We're on the road in a rivalry game. Without her, who's going to step up? But Gordon has been terrific, even when she's shooting from the field.
Another thing for the Hurricanes in this 4th quarter has been cleaning up the turnovers. They have not given the ball away, and again, that started to become an issue. 15 through the first 3 quarters. But they've been making the most of every single possession, which you have to do.
I also think that they played with a little bit more physicality here in the second half. They've drawn more fouls, gotten to the free throw line, and really attacked pressure with pressure.
One of the keys you mentioned coming out in the 3rd quarter. Also, to put a button on the last point, the Hurricanes turned it over 7 times in the 3rd quarter.
I think back to how Coach Koloff opened up shoot-around today. She told our team, if you're ready to fight, you can beat them. And they've been some fighters.
Who is going to throw the last blow is the question. 7 to shoot. Oh, what a step back from Cavender. Rattles out. Batted away. Cavender again.
And a good decision. Good decision to pull the ball out, run your offense, and get a good look.
Hannah Cavender now running the point. Over the top. Beautifully done, and it goes through. Natalia Marshall with a huge bucket. Miami takes the lead.
The awareness from the Hurricanes to know that Marshall was being guarded by OMG and to seal over the top. That is the easiest bucket Nat Marshall has had today. What a great pass as well from Roberts. And a timely bucket, huge bucket for Marshall. We know that she's been in plenty of these moments in the ACC. A former player for Notre Dame has been huge for Miami. And now it's on Florida State.
18 seconds to go. 2-point ball game. Ferguson once again looking on.
I would say here, you obviously have to put the ball in Gordon's hands. But again, spacing so important. I would be selective in setting a ball screen because you know they're probably going to trap her. You want her to operate in space.
Gordon on the drive. Gordon through traffic. Omaria Gordon with ice in her veins. Goes to ground, tying the game up. The hoop and the harm. Omaria Gordon being helped up by teammates. Good news as she limps onto the floor.
And it's been consistent. Every quarter, she has scored. She's been that spark that they needed. The smallest player on the floor, but you wouldn't know it watching her hoop.
With the biggest heart, one might say. Time running out here. Cavender up against the baseline, and a whistle blows for a foul. Foul on the body on the Seminoles. Coach Wyckoff, among others, can't believe it.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It almost seemed like Cavender was off balance and falling forward without dribbling the ball. I didn't even see Gordon maybe look like she was hovering over her. Man.
Gordon called for her second, and Miami is in the bonus. So that makes it a 81-81 scoreline with that made free throw. Cavender gives the Canes the lead on a dramatic turn of events based on that foul call.
Yeah, she's mature. She's been put in this situation time and time before. Free throws matter at the end of these games. Yeah, both teams have done a good job making free throws, but for Florida State, you got to give it back to Gordon. You got to give it to her where she has space to get downhill. And for Miami, you got to think that you're going to try to double her at some point.
Gordon. Timpson rises up through traffic. Timpson knocks it down. Florida State takes the lead. 2.7 to go.
Wow. And this is why Brooke Wyckoff has been successful at Florida State for both teams who are coming off losses.
3.3 put on the clock after a quick review there. 1 point lead for Florida State. Miami basketball with not much time.
I would watch the backdoor options here. You expect Florida State to pressure, and Miami may look to go backdoor.
Cavender surveying over the top. One to shoot, and it's up and it's out. Miami knocking on the door of a game winner. But the Canes come up short on their home floor. Florida State pulls off a magnificent win without the nation's leading scorer, Tania Latson.
A huge win for Florida State. I don't care about the ACC standings. The basketball was terrific. It was down to the wire here. Miami runs this action. They get Nat Marshall stealing over the top. And great help defense there from Florida State just to make sure that they showed Williams multiple bodies. Watch here as Williams just puts her hands up right at the end. Timpson jumps as well and just makes it a tough shot. And Bowles says, bye-bye, baby. What a good win for Florida State. And how about Amaria Gordon?
It's going to be an enjoyable ride home for Gordon and the Seminoles. 10 lead changes in the last 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Are you not entertained, folks?